I'll give you a choice. Y'all let me know if you're ready or not. I know most of y'all sleep still. Y'all ready? Good morning, everybody. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? Oh, yeah, yeah. What's happening, everybody? It is 5:28 a.m. here on the West Coast, Northern California, Stockton, California, to be exact, baby. My name is Cherry Franklin. This is the Cherry Franklin Show. While we start rolling up, we're going to take a sneak peek at this footage where me and Killswitch was talking shit on the internet. What's happening? Welcome back. See a lot of returning subscribers. Best rapper female in NorCal, out of NorCal. Thank y'all for my compliments. I see over 12 streamers in the live already. We've been live about 5 minutes.
How you gonna put it up on the screen?
No.
Oh, I got roasted. You roasted me.
I'm not gonna blame it. It's so much on you. You win some, you lose some, I guess. But
hey, that nigga said,
nah, you don't.
Nah, bro. After
I was mad.
They said I look
Here's
like,
what said somebody roasted him.
What's the nigga on Wildin' Out? Glasses. And the big head.
Cortez.
Yeah, so I look like Cortez.
That's not acceptable.
They said I can't rap, and they said I look like Cortez. That was dope.
No, we can't rap. Well, we play some songs that you can, but
I'm just saying what it's over, man. Said I whack, and I like Cortez. I look like Cortez. They said I can't rap, and I look like Cortez. So I said, yeah.
Why is you telling me this early in the morning?
I'm just telling you what the niggas told me, bro. Because I didn't, all this time I thought I was fighting. I didn't know I was fighting. Y'all niggas ain't said. Why y'all ain't just told me I was wet?
Bruh, somebody told Killswitch his raps was wet, and Killswitch took that shit to heart. Freestyle, because I don't want to rap tape for free. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Let me clarify something. I really don't give a fuck what that nigga said about how I rap. Okay? I ain't never heard that nigga rap one bar. Okay? So, this nigga's not a professional in the music industry. He ain't got no professional ear. He ain't signed nobody. He ain't worked with nobody. That shit. That nigga just heard me probably that beat that. Or played a couple songs. Okay, cool, my nigga. But I don't give a fuck about your opinion. As far as me looking like Cortez, I bet I don't fuck more bitches than you. He was like, boy, I fuck a lot.
No, don't say that.
I be fucking bitches.
Killswitch ill. He do not have to say that on the internet.
Fuck the bitches, bro. Fuck these niggas talking about, bro. I just feel like this, bro. That's my tagline. I'm gonna give me a t-shirt. Say, I just look like this. But not that. Stop playing.
Come on, man.
Killswitch, I'm talking about yesterday. Y'all in here. I feel like she big kid this week. But I can't rap. I can't beat.
I guess you want to
No, nigga don't say I'm wet. I ain't no fuck. It ain't no, everybody got their opinion. Ain't no, so, like, no, but if you don't like my music, if you don't like my music, How about that? If you don't like my music, everybody don't like my music. Yeah. Look at it.
Come on.
Life gonna go back. Hey, life not go. Okay, bad life.
Who cares, but don't do that.
That's what your grandma bring up left.
No, okay, we're not doing that, okay? Talk about something else. So you said it ain't no serious shit. Alright, that's enough. Kill switch funny, but I'm not finna watch this. It's kind of glitchy.
And I hope every remote of your house is bad.
Stupid. That what do that got to do with anything? You can just make some different music. Ooh, This is not disturbing. I done cut my lip, now my lip is bleeding hella early in the morning, first thing in the morning. Ah! Yeah, it is 5:35 a.m. here on the West Coast, Northern California, Stockton, California to be exact, baby. My name is Cherry Franklin. This is the Cherry Franklin Show. We get on here every day to tell y'all, please visit change.org and vote.org to do what you can, where you can, when you can. Y'all vote and make a difference and sign these petitions for the fourth stimulus check and to say their names hashtag.
And other opposition members are now gaining more leverage to push for.
We are now live on Facebook, YouTube, as well as Ustream.
30-year high.
Tag and Tango, y'all. Let's go ahead and see what they got to say.
Commissioner Charles Reddick urged Congress to support President Biden
about our stimulus check, shall we?
And his proposal to give the agency an additional $80 billion over 10 years through the stimulus bill. Guys, that's a huge amount of money. What exactly does the IRS plan to do with this kind of budget? Lastly, Vice President Kamala Harris is reportedly frustrated about paid family leave being cut out of President Biden's stimulus bill. We're going to discuss all of these and more in our video today, so definitely stick around to the end. But first, I want to say welcome back to all my subscribers. Really appreciate you guys. Hope you guys are doing very well today.
Valley, what's happening, NorCal? What's up, Northern California? Good morning.
All things personal finance, investing, cryptocurrencies, stock market updates, housing updates, heck, even making money online. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and tap that notification bell. That way you're notified as soon as I release new videos and updates. Also, don't forget to hit the pinned comment down below, as well as in the description, you will find links for being able to make money online, as well as making money from home. Also, don't forget to hit the link down to get your free home warranty quote. It's cold outside, guys. Next up with another expensive, unexpected expense for your home. Get your free home warranty quote down below. First up, here's your daily update on the reconciliation bill. Now, according to this report, rising inflation is making negotiations very difficult in Congress over President Biden's Build Back agenda. Senator Joe Manchin and other opposition members are now gaining more leverage to push for a smaller stimulus bill as the annual inflation rose to a historic 30-year high, which the Labor Department revealed last Wednesday. Now, we got a lot of things to unpack here, guys, so let's go ahead and get started with this one. In the wake of the numbers, Democratic aides and strategists are growing less optimistic that Manchin can be persuaded to support adding back a proposal to establish a national paid leave program. And as possible
Where the
Manchin could
music went?
forcefully press for even new cuts. Manchin has cited rising inflation as one of the main reasons for not supporting a social spending bill above $1.5 trillion, and back from publicly backing the slimmed down $1.75 trillion framework, which he studies its potential impact on the economy and prices. Once again, we have Senator Joe Manchin and other opposition members going against their party. The fight for the Democratic parties just never seems to end. It seems like we get new developments on this situation every other day, which proves that Democrats are struggling to get this bill forward. Anyway, Democrats indeed have many priorities, and paid leave is certainly one of them. This measure is one of the priorities that Democrats have been campaigning for a long time now, which is why they're still trying to persuade Joe Manchin to get on board with this. I have a news update that goes into more details on this, so we'll discuss that later. So stay tuned. Now, Joe Manchin has been against this bill's price tag, and it's really surprising that he's vocal about this rising inflation issue now. On top of that, Manchin said before that he's against, quote, reckless spending, and that's exactly how the stimulus bill went from having an initial $6 trillion budget to $3.5 trillion to $1.75 trillion now. Democrats literally reduced the budget in half, which means that they also dropped some measures from the bill. So the stimulus bill that we're discussing now, it is literally the remains of what Democrats tried to push for initially. The article also talks about a Democratic political consultant who gave insight into what Manchin is thinking. Now, apparently, Manchin fears that Democrats will pass a stimulus bill that's not fully paid for. He wants to make sure that the Democrats would fund the measures and that they won't pass the bill just to kind of show people that they can do something. Maybe that's just an overly cautious approach to things, but of course, I'm not Joe Manchin. Perhaps he knows something about the Democrats' plans that we just don't know yet. Manchin's fear isn't baseless, and it's actually a valid concern, whatever the case may be. Now, lastly, we have to remember that the whole inflation issue affects everything. In fact, it even affected the Democrats in the governor elections versus the Republicans. Democrats lost Virginia, and it's pretty safe to say that the Democrats' manner of handling inflation influenced voters, which is why they voted for the Republicans. It's an exciting turn of events highlighting just how important the issue is for the Democrats. So let's go back to the article. Senior White House officials and Democratic leaders now realize the new inflation measures pose a serious obstacle to getting Manchin's support and are maneuvering to anticipate the maverick Democrats' arguments. White House Chief of Staff Ron Klain argued on CNN Wednesday that Build Back Better would help bring down costs for average Americans. Asked if reconciliation bill is, quote, essentially dead because of inflation, Klain insisted, quote, quite the opposite. I think if your concern is the cost of living, it's a concern we have here at the White House. It's a concern Senator Manchin shares. The Build Back Better bill is the best answer we have to be able to bring those costs down. White House officials and Democratic leaders are correct on their take here. The inflation issues are a very serious obstacle, which would make the task of persuading Joe Manchin difficult. Remember, guys, Democrats are passing a stimulus bill through the reconciliation process where they don't have to worry about Republican support. Instead, all they have to do is worry about Manchin support as well as Sinema's. Their only concern now is to unify their party to vote as one and support the stimulus bill. In this setup, the Senate Democrats, they can't afford to lose even a single vote. So of course, this means Manchin and other opposition members hold a lot of leverage here, and we can see that they're absolutely taking advantage of it. It's kind of sad, actually. Now, White House Chief of Staff Ron Klain is also on point here. The stimulus bill, it's not dead yet, and Democrats are still touting this human infrastructure bill as the solution to many of the problems that we're currently facing, including inflation.
Two flavors
even
today.
President Biden shares the same sentiments. The stimulus programs will alleviate inflation and help millions of Americans through financial aid and other similar methods, at least according to the Democrats. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer shares the same perspective here. Quote, the best way to address inflation is to pass a bill that creates jobs, reduces bottlenecks, and is temporarily paid for by making sure the wealthy pay their fair share. That's what we're doing with the Build Back Better Act, he tweeted on Wednesday. Chuck Schumer's statement here contains a lot of solutions Democrats are proposing. Now, first, I just want to expound on how the stimulus bill would actually reduce bottlenecks. As we all know, our country is currently facing multiple supply chain issues that have been crippling logistics and deliveries nationwide. There's over 160 cargo ships just waiting outside the port on the west coast of California. Some people are even saying that you should be doing your holiday shopping now, or else you won't be able to next month due to such issues. Anyway, the stimulus bill and the infrastructure bill contain programs that are supposed to be able to address this major problem. Pretty safe to say that the Democrats want to solve this problem ASAP. Now, secondly, Democrats have been pushing for tax hikes on corporations and wealthy people. They want to see these people pay their, quote, fair share of taxes, and they've been calling for this for a long time. Now, whether or not that's the right move, I really don't know. However, the fact is that this measure will generate many funds for the stimulus bill and for its provisions. Also, this is one of the ways that Democrats have proposed as a way to be able to pay for the bill. Now, speaking of stimulus provisions, let's go over the many priorities that Democrats have been pushing for since the beginning of talks. Now, with a proposal of $3.5 trillion for the budget bill, Democrats are pushing to include extensions of child tax credits, Medicare expansion, to include dental, hearing, and vision, free community college, universal pre-K, paid leave, climate change policies, rental assistance, unemployment, and so much more. Democrats have even proposed that fourth stimulus check, as well as recurring stimulus checks in the stimulus bill. Admittedly, it has been months since they brought this up. But of course, Congress can still add this at the last minute, so it really wouldn't be the first time that they've done that. So we really can't quite give up on it yet. But of course, I'll be sure to update you guys ASAP once news comes out. So definitely stay tuned. Basically, that's the stimulus bill and its provisions. Now, Democrats are actually waiting for a critical cost analysis by the Congressional Budget Office. But let's continue here. Manchin's concerns about an overheating economy and rising inflation will raise the stakes for the Congressional Budget Office. Manchin's concerns about an overheating economy and rising inflation will raise the stakes for the Congressional Budget Office analysis, projecting the total cost of the budget reconciliation package. The CBO finds the bill is substantially higher than the $1.75 trillion advertised price by the White House. Allied Democrat centrists in the House are expected to call for additional cuts. The final CBO score may not come out until the week of Thanksgiving, which could delay the final negotiations on the size of the bill until the first week of December. More potential delays. The CBO analysis is what everyone's waiting for here. Now, I would say that the fate of the stimulus bill is at stake here. The article explained it pretty well here. Now, if the CBO's analysis doesn't match the White House's version, Democrats will have to make more cuts. As a result, more delays are going to follow. Now, remember, Democrats revealed a new mini timeline last week, saying that they want to get this done on the week of November 15th. However, the article says that the final CBO score may not come out until the week of Thanksgiving. Now, I looked this up to be sure, and Thanksgiving is on November 25th. That's exactly
half
10-day
purple,
difference
half
between the
green.
Democrats' mini timeline and the CBO's analysis release date. It's just another problem Democrats have to deal with while they can't afford any more delays. It's a challenging situation here.
Good
Lastly,
morning,
while
y'all.
Manchin
Good
has many
morning.
concerns regarding the current stimulus bill, his voting history shows that
Welcome
he
back,
has supported
everybody.
previous stimulus packages. He may go against his party now, but the past actions show that in the end he goes with the majority. In situations like this one, perhaps the end game is the only thing that matters. What do you guys think about this though? Hopefully Democrats can actually find a way to weather this storm and get the cooperation of Manchin and other members of the opposition. Remember, there's a lot at stake here, especially our chances of receiving a fourth stimulus check. So let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. All right, guys, next up, more stimulus bill related news. Now, this time, let's discuss the stimulus provisions that Democrats are pushing for in the stimulus bill in more detail. Now, let's start off with the IRS measure. And so apparently, IRS Commissioner Charles Reddick, he urged Congress to support President Biden's proposal to give the agency an additional $80 billion over 10 years through the stimulus bill. Now, guys, that's a lot of money. But what exactly does the IRS plan to do with this budget? It's found out here. It says here, quote, the funding proposal offers a historic opportunity to help the IRS help others. This is what Reddick wrote in a Washington Post article. Congress must act. One way the Democrats are seeking to help pay for the social spending package is giving the IRS an additional $80 billion over the course of a decade to modernize the agency's technology and strengthen its enforcement efforts against high-income households. The Biden administration initially proposed this funding increase earlier this year, and the proposal is also included in the most recent version of the House Democrats bill. So Charles Reddick is basically saying that the government should help the IRS help others by giving them $80 billion. I'm not going to comment on that one personally. For that amount of money, that's not a tiny figure to laugh at.
$80 billion.
Reddick is essentially calling for a dramatic improvement of the IRS by asking for this budget. Now, whether it's a good idea or not, I really can't say for sure. However, the administration brought this up earlier in the year too. Basically, by improving the IRS, there could be more taxes funneling into the government money pool. More IRS enforcement means more taxes. More taxes.
I know y'all ready to smoke.
Stimulus bill. And by doing this, Democrats won't have to worry about the bill's costs, and they also would not need to add to the national debt. Let's see the figures on this here. The administration estimates that the proposal could generate an additional $400 billion in revenue over the next 10 years, though the Congressional Budget Office may give a lower figure when it releases its full estimate of the House bill. The CBO in September said such a proposal to increase IRS funding would increase revenue by about $200 billion. The estimates are promising and reveal an additional $400 billion in revenue. So guys, that's the money that the government could possibly get by only investing $80 billion into this agency, worth around $360 billion in gains from more taxes, and that is a lot of money the administration can use for multiple programs and the hike. Remember though, these are just estimates. not actually finalized. Reddick argued that additional funding would help the IRS make a sizable dent in noncompliance and help to deter individuals and corporations from cheating on their taxes. Quote, stable funding would allow us to finally build and train an effective workforce to collect the taxes owed. Reddick's arguments definitely sound reasonable and actionable, but there might be problems that come with the proposed solution. Now, if you guys remember, a few months back when there was news about the IRS wanting to have access to other people's bank accounts,
we gotta catch up on these stimulus check videos.
Implementing that would be problematic. If the government gives the IRS a budget increase, would they continue with that measure? No one really knows for sure, but that's definitely something to think about. Lastly, the proposal is just more than about getting taxes owed. It's a long-term investment to improve processes and the quality of life for people. Just imagine how much more efficient and faster the IRS would be. I'm willing to bet that everybody would be a supporter of that one. Now, what do you guys think about this? Remember, this is just one way that Democrats plan to use to fund the stimulus bill. That may be beneficial, but some problems will likely come with it. There's a lot of factors to consider here, but drop me a comment down below and let's discuss it. Last but not least, here's the last important update on the stimulus bill and its provisions for today. Vice President Kamala Harris is reportedly frustrated about paid leave being cut out of President Biden's stimulus bill. Now, I briefly touched on this measure a while earlier, but let's go into it in a bit more detail. Let's see what the Vice President had to say about this. Quote, yes, it's frustrating, she said in a press conference in Paris when asked about leave getting pushed out of the proposal. Quote, it's something we've been advocating for years, as has the president, and it was in our initial proposal. Biden had proposed 12 weeks of paid family leave in Democrats' spending package. That had been trimmed down to 4 weeks through negotiations, and then was finally cut from the White House's framework as a concession to Joe Manchin. Paid family leave is a Democratic priority that they've been fighting for years now. Now, we can see that they were very determined to get this done. Initially, Democrats pushed for 12 weeks of paid leave, but then they cut it down to 4 weeks. Now it's being totally removed, but bringing this back soon, especially since nothing's finalized yet. Harris said that they would continue fighting for this, so hopefully they can follow through with a victory. Quote, I'm frustrated, and it is, I think, a shame that we are not yet a leader on this. We have work to do, and that is why the president and I are committed to doing this work. She noted the paid family leave disproportionately affects women and working women, speaking about the impacts on women through the lens of the virus pandemic. Now, these are honestly great points. Many countries already have this provision, but we're still debating over whether this is going to be handled at a national level or not. Now, according to Harris, the lack of paid family leave disproportionately affects women. And she also brought up that 2 million women left the workforce due to reasons related to this. The vice president even emphasized that issues that affect working women are issues that affect the economy and our society as a whole. Now, I'm not well versed enough on this issue to really comment and go into details here. However, Harris must have her own reasons and research for saying such statements. Democrats are fighting for this measure, so her battle isn't over yet. But what do you guys think about this, though? There's no doubt that paid family leave would be beneficial for all our families in the country. However, is it the right time to push for that? How many weeks should Democrats be fighting for? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So anyway, guys, that's all for the news on your fourth stimulus check update, recurring stimulus check update. Joe Manchin using inflation as a reason to go against the stimulus bill. We covered Charles Reddick urging Congress to give $80 billion to the IRS, and Vice President Kamala Harris being frustrated over paid family leave. But what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Hope you guys appreciate it all. If you have, definitely hit the like button. I really appreciate the support. And join the family. Hit the subscribe button and tap that notification bell so you're notified as soon as I release new videos and content. And I'll see you guys on the next one.
No.
Meanwhile, more backlash over President Biden's immigration.
I know the dude called me. But nah, we didn't break up. He just left here an hour ago. We've been trying to break up since 6 months ago, but he don't want to break up. I know some people is like, they're good. I mean, that's good that you guys work this shit out. We just fight it out, but we don't leave. We argue, but we don't leave each other. He do stupid shit though, like if I want to check him or argue, then he don't want to answer the phone. Hide out at somebody punk ass house. But he called me and texts me every day, so we still together. Thanks for asking. I just don't believe these motherfuckers about this stimulus check shit.
President Biden's Build Back Better proposal would extend child credit payments for an additional 12 months. It would provide monthly payments to the parents of nearly 90% of children in 2022, according to the White House website. According to the White House's website, the Build Back Better agenda aims to lower a variety of costs.
Was the child tax
they include
credit.
Childcare costs, healthcare costs, higher education costs,
The child
housing
tax
costs,
credit comes on the 15th
prescription
of
drug
each
costs. The White House claims its plan will invest in workforce development, which will train millions of Americans for high-quality jobs in sectors such as healthcare and construction. Joe Biden is pledging to create clean energy jobs that are unionized and beneficial to the climate. The plan also addresses the teacher shortage and claims it will expand free meals to an additional 9.3 million students and upgrade school infrastructure. Families with children and workers without children are the two groups the White House website addresses as tax cut beneficiaries of the plan. The White House says the Build Back Better agenda would extend the recent child tax credit expansion. It also claims this tax cut would nearly cut rates of child poverty in half. The agenda will also extend the Earned Income Tax Credit, which the White House claims will benefit around 17 million low-wage workers. More than 2.9 million people have signed a Change.org petition that calls on lawmakers to pass legislation for recurring $2,000 monthly payments. 21 Democrat senators have signed a letter to Joe Biden in support of recurring stimulus payments. The letter read, almost 6 in 10 people say the $1,400 payments set to be included in the rescue package will last them less than 3 months. Another 430,000 households have received surprise tax refunds worth an average of $1,189 from the IRS, as calls continue to grow for more stimulus money. The agency says it's sending refunds to people who wrongly pay taxes on unemployment compensation. It's a welcome cash boost as plenty of Americans are hoping for a fourth stimulus check. It comes as it's revealed Americans could be sent $2,000 every month until the pandemic ends, under a radical proposal gaining support across the country. A petition calling for Congress and President Joe Biden to send the monthly payments until the end of the pandemic has gained almost 5 million signatures on Change.org. However, despite the support from Americans, it is unlikely any $2,000 monthly stimulus checks will be passed. Thanks for watching. Leave comments below. Stay tuned for more news and updates. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
That wasn't the best news that you could tell us. Look at these wolf tickets that you trying to sell us. We paying all these taxes. Then you got the money hand up, we can't get access. You said you wanted us employed and you wanted to vax us. How the fuck you think you got in a White House? Hold on, yeah. I just don't see it. These are 8 minutes apiece, honey. Shit, I don't want to listen to nobody talk for no damn 8 minutes. Hello, everybody. How y'all doing today?
Good morning, friends. Happy Monday to all of you. President Biden's approval ratings continue to drop. Congress might address funding to avoid a government shutdown in December. A few more U.S. state governors have decided this month to offer stimulus relief money to their residents. Here's your daily news report and Ford stimulus check update. Friends, please make sure to subscribe to my channel and stay tuned until the end of this video to learn how to enter Friday's $100 Walmart gift card giveaway. Congress is facing a legislative pileup as it barrels towards the end of the year with a lengthy to-do list. The House and the Senate return today and are scheduled to be in session. Democrats want to deliver big wins by the end of President Biden's first year, but they continue to juggle their party's political ambitions with must-pass bills. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer warned of a grueling end-of-the-year schedule in a letter to Senate Democrats on Sunday, noting it will likely take some long nights and weekends. Here's what is on Congress's end-of-the-year to-do list.
What you mean,
first,
long nights
is
and
the social spending bill. Democrats' timeline for trying to get their second social and climate spending bill to Biden's desk has slipped repeatedly closer to the end of the year, a time when lawmakers already face multiple deadlines. House Democrats had hoped to pass the bill before Veterans Day recess. Instead, helped by 13 Republicans, they passed the Senate bipartisan infrastructure bill and punted the social spending bill to try to assuage moderates who want to see a Congressional Budget Office analysis of the bill. As part of that agreement, 5 moderate House Democrats put out a joint statement vowing to support the Build Back Better legislation in its current form, other than technical changes. And this is as soon as they receive fiscal information that lines up with a framework deal, but in no event later than the week of November 15th. The House has the bill on its schedule for this week, but the Senate's consideration of the bill is likely to slip up until after Thanksgiving. Chuck Schumer, in a letter to the Democratic caucus, said that he was already having talks with the parliamentarian about whether the bill complied with reconciliation rules and a budget resolution approved earlier this year. Senate Democrats will also start having talks with the House this week about whether it meets the Byrd rule. Government funding is another big item on Congress's to-do list. Lawmakers have a matter of days to come up with an agreement to fund the government and avoid an early December shutdown.
Thank you. To follow up on what Jeff and Sabrina were trying to ask to the secretary, the president said Americans would feel the impact of the projects within 2 to 3 months, but I didn't hear a single specific project that will be launched. So has the administration identified any?
I don't have anything, and I don't have anything to announce as to any specifics. We'll have more on the implementation of this as the days go by, the weeks go by, and so stay tuned. We'll have a lot more to share. But as you can imagine, implementing this is critical and important to us. If you look at the American Rescue Plan, which we believe was a success, that's one of the reasons we saw the job numbers that we saw on Friday with 531,000 jobs in the last month. So we want to continue making sure that we deliver, and so just like we did with the American Rescue Plan, we'll make sure to do this with the bipartisan infrastructure framework as well.
For so long, you and President Biden have talked about the urgency of passing this bill. Now it's passed. So why is he waiting to sign it? And when will he sign it?
So he talked about this on Saturday. He basically said he wants to make sure the congressional members who worked very, very hard on this, when they come back, then we'll figure out a time to sign it. But you're right, it's urgent, but we also want to make sure that the people who spent the last couple of weeks, last couple of months, just all in delivering on this promise are here for the sign as well.
So do you have a date in mind?
I do not have a date, but it will be very soon.
And then turning to reconciliation, does President Biden believe Congress should wait for a CBO score to vote on it or not?
Well, here's the thing. As you know, Weijia and I talked about this probably on Thursday, probably on Friday. I can't remember now. But as you know, we put forward our score. We put forward through the Treasury. There was a Treasury blog. There was also the JCT that put out a number as well, which was the kind of the first part before the CBO puts out their number. And we said that there's more. It's going to be more than paid for. I believe our number.
Congress previously passed a short-term bill to keep the government open through December 3rd and is expected to need to use another continuing resolution, which funds the government at current levels and to keep the lights on. The White House is trying to build pressure on lawmakers to reach a deal on fiscal 2022 funding, which would include new funding levels and priorities, and avoid a funding catch, a tall lift given the current state of talks. Democrats have not yet pulled forward a continuing resolution proposal of their own, but lawmakers in the past have used short-term funding bills through late February or early March as a way to buy themselves more time. So friends, what are your thoughts on this possible government shutdown? Please leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Friends, the key word for this video is notebook. If you would like to enter this coming Friday's $100 Walmart gift card giveaway, please click and like my videos. Make sure that you are subscribed to my channel and comment below the keyword from each video. Thank you so much, friends. Congress passed a short-term debt hike earlier this year, but senators in both parties believe they have more time to pass another increase in the debt ceiling, with Senate Majority Whip Dick Durbin describing it as a December problem. The Bipartisan Policy Center has estimated that Congress will need to act as soon as mid-December or as late as February. Democrats have not yet showed how they will raise the debt ceiling. Republicans face fierce backlash from their own caucus after they helped break a filibuster on the short-term debt extension, after months of vowing that they would make Democrats go it alone. So friends, what are your thoughts on continuing raising the debt ceiling? Please leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Just in recent days, millions of Americans have applied for a fourth stimulus check. Due to this situation suffered by millions of Americans, different states throughout our nation have decided to provide cash for its residents to alleviate their financial problems. Since late August, California's second round of Golden State stimulus has been underway. The next batch of payment is scheduled for this Monday, November 15th, with the expectation that the number of checks will be similar to what went out in the last group, which is 750,000. Right now in the state of Tennessee, they have finally decided to send out more relief payments too. Tennessee will provide teachers with compensation for overcoming the worst of the crisis. Full-time teachers will receive $1,000, while part-time teachers will receive $500 at the end of this year. Thank you so much, friends, for joining me here this Monday morning. I truly appreciate all of you who are watching my videos. To say thank you and to show my appreciation, I'm giving away 3 $100 Walmart gift cards every Friday during the month of November. If you would like to enter that giveaway, please click in.
Alright, y'all heard that? State of California supposedly having a second round of Golden State stimulus checks. They were sent out again November 15th. Everybody check your mail. I don't know how I'm gonna get mine. I changed my address again, so I have to go update my address or direct deposit information. Anyway, I love y'all. The first Golden State stimulus check, I believe, was about $600, so it'll probably be again about $500 or $600. That's what they tend to do. But we'll see. I don't know. We're also waiting on them to vote the Build Back Better plan and the government budget again. The government has already did their budget, like the federal and the state, local and state, and now the federal again. But we say all that to say this. Please visit change.org and vote.org to do what you can, where you can, when you can. Change.org to sign the petition for the fourth stimulus check in the amount of $2,000, as well as the Justice for the Say Their Names hashtags. And y'all visit vote.org to register to vote, as well as yearly elections in your city, your county, and your state, not just a presidential election. All right, y'all, we're going to say goodbye to Facebook and YouTube and fade to the background apps and get on these instrumentals. We done gave them about 40 minutes. Usually we do half an hour to an hour. The background lives go about 1 to 3 hours. So we're going to fade to the background, get on the rest of this smoke session. Y'all, halfway through the blunt, it is 6:07 a.m. here on the West Coast. Northern California, Stockton, California to be exact, baby. My name is Cherry Franklin. This is the Cherry Franklin Show. Make sure you follow and subscribe, all of that. Thank y'all for my money. I see it on the screen. Facebook and YouTube, you're beautiful, your soul is beautiful, your energy is positive, you're important to me, your community, your family, and your friends, and I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here, for making me a top streamer, all of that. Subscribe.